Punters and Dribblers, we are brought to you by the biggest and the best multivitamin in the game. Biggest, maybe a little too early to say that, given it's only been going, but like soon to be the biggest multivitamin in the game.
It's tracking.
Good Day Daily multivitamin.
It's tracking. Put it this way. There's a couple of competitors out there quivering in their fucking little boots.
Yeah, shaking.
Shaking in their little boots. And I tell you why they're shaking. Because ours is better than theirs.
Can't put a price on health, Punters and Dribblers, and Good Day is an easy way to slip your nutritional health into your daily routine. One sachet into water, rip the scab off it, stir it up, shake it up, however you want to have it, and slam it down.
Some people are saying we've made it too easy to look after yourself.
Yeah.
People are saying that on the street. They're going Tom and Eddie, making it too fucking easy to look after yourself.
You go to begoodhealth.com.au, use the promo code
Dribblers.
Dribblers. You're going to get 20% off your purchase
You're
for
welcome.
life.
There you go.
This thing helps with your daily stress levels, your energy levels, your cognition, mental clarity, liver health, immunity boost. It's been made by professionals for dribblers.
Correct. Not made by dribblers for professionals.
No.
Because that'd be fucking ridiculous.
That would be. That'd be. If it was made by dribblers for professionals, it'd be like mud cake.
Correct.
And not chocolate mud cake, like when you used to make cakes of mud in your backyard.
That's exactly right.
This is not that. This has been made by qualified professionals.
Best in class.
And this isn't me using it as a promotional tool. Just want to let you know this is a statement of fact.
Yeah.
This is not to promote the brand at all.
No.
Statement of fact. This is a true statement.
It's objectively true.
It's objectively true that this thing is certified by the TGA of Australia.
Over 60 claims.
The Therapeutic Goods Association of Australia.
Over 60 claims. Also,
I'm not using that to promote it. I'm just stating a fact.
No, it's just a fact. Also, just a nice little bow on this fucking thing. Taste fucking terrific.
You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
What is up, punters and dribblers? Welcome to the pre-Las Vegas week on Hello Sport. I have unqualified opinion on wavering bias. Pre-Vegas week. 1 week out.
1 week out. 1 week out till we board the plane to our destiny.
Yep.
Is that too much? Is destiny over the top?
No, I don't think it's over the top, Eddie.
Because you know you can hear that, can't you?
What? Destiny?
Calling.
Destiny calling. And that's not the name of a stripper who may also be calling. That means we're talking about destiny in the more poetic sense.
Correct.
Not to impugn on Destiny's work.
And not to impugn on the work of Destiny's Child.
No.
Who also got into some early 2000s work.
They did. They didn't sing Scrub though, did they? That was TLC, I believe. But they did.
I can't remember.
They
would
did
need to be,
sing I Am a Survivor.
Yes.
Not I Am, I'm a.
I'm a Survivor.
Yeah.
That's I-double-M-A for those playing along at home.
I'm a Survivor.
Yep.
They also... What were the other ones they did? Now I can't even remember. Sorry, it's got fucking Aaron hair floating on the old mic there. I don't know. Not important. We do have a date with Destiny. This time next week, we will be... Not on the plane, but we'll be fucking giddy with excitement.
We'll be thinking about getting on the plane.
Yeah. I'll be probably just starting to pack my bags.
Good for you. But your rest is sorted, so that's exciting.
That is nice.
We've got three
visas.
Esters that are primed and ready to squirt sauce, so to speak.
Yep. Yeah.
To quote
Toey Esters.
We've got Toey Esters.
To quote
one of the great
Mark
New South
Gasnier.
Welshmans of all time,
Yep.
Mark Gasnier. Mid-Origin camp, him and the boys in the
Leaving
back of a cab,
leaving voicemails.
looking to get into some work. Now,
we will be going over to Vegas. Trucker Nut. You will notice we are wearing trucker hats. Nut trucker hats. Just so you know, they'll be available soon.
So you know.
Very limited numbers.
Just so you know, basically it details a man...
Or a trucker.
A trucker who's trucking a truck full of nut. That's Steedens.
Yeah, a truckload of nut. And then, obviously, on the back, I truck nut. So keep your eyes peeled for those this rugby league season. I'm excited, mate. I'm excited. My family, not so much. My wife.
She off it?
Well, she's not off it because she knows, Daddy's got a date with Destiny.
Is she testy?
No. She's pretty good.
Again, date with Destiny.
Well, date with Destiny, she understands it. Also, I am incredibly lucky to have such a supportive lady in my life. Clip this up, Tobler.
Clip it up and send it over to her.
I am so lucky to have such a supportive and loving and caring wife, but not just wife, mother to my children. She's an inspiration. She's a beacon of, how young girls should look to be. Clip this up as well. Clip out the bit, though, of me saying clip it up. Anything you'd like to say, Eddie?
Yeah, listen, I'll echo those sentiments. Obviously, I don't have children, but I just wanted to say a big shout out to my own wife, Ella Dumbrell. Name change pending soon. I've been promised the next passport changed. Listen, I don't care. It's not a big deal.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. She's also supportive. She knows that I've got a date with Destiny. I think more than anything, she's probably a little bit jealous.
Yeah, I think as well.
I think there might be jealousy flowing through her veins, which I can respect, especially when I detailed to her the itinerary, Tom, which is filled up fast. It's now chock-a-block and
ready to squirt sauce itself, the itinerary.
The itinerary, toe in, ready to squirt, plenty of sauce. It's fucking jam-packed, the itinerary. One of the great itineraries ever produced by man.
Yep.
Or woman.
But you were just saying nice things about your wife.
I was. She's great. She's great. Love ya. Thanks for doing what you do. I just spilt water on myself.
Clip that up as well.
Clip that up and send it over to her.
Clip that up. Send it to both of them. Very lucky.
Now that that's out of the way.
Yeah.
We're fucking horny and ready to go.
Yeah.
And you can expect a full dossier. Is that the right word?
Well, is dossier sort of what, like school shooters, or is that a manifesto?
That's a manifesto.
Sorry.
Tom. I was going to say of content.
It's a collection of papers containing information on a particular event.
Right. So
it's a Dribbles dossier, which isn't papers.
It's a digital
content.
dribbler dossier, a DDD.
Yeah.
You're going to be drowning in content, so get your whistles wet.
Yep. Also, while we're talking content, I know we are in Vegas chat right now, but if you want to go watch Eddie and I take each other on in a match play, head over to Breaking the Yips on YouTube. That went up last night at 6 p.m.
It did. It's
a battle for the ages between two generational golfing talents.
That's right. That's how I would have put it, Tom. Basically, Tom and I, we don't take any step back when we take each other on. It's fierce.
Yeah.
Fierce contest. Fierce battle. And
Hall
one of us,
Thorpe and Hall.
Yeah. And one's Thorpe and one's Hall.
That's it.
You can probably guess at home.
Don't be giving away any.
I'm saying you can probably guess.
That early confidence, though, maybe is leading him down the wrong path. Maybe Hall wins.
Maybe Hall wins.
But does Hall win?
Maybe does Hall win? Or does Hall get smashed like a guitar?
Yeah. Does Thorpe come
after
home?
saying that he'll smash the Aussies like guitars. But then Michael Klim, still sizzling behind the blocks, breaks the world record in the first 100.
Yeah.
Thorpe comes over the top of Hall. Is that what happens? Who knows? You'll have to find out. Breaking the Yips YouTube. Check it out. The editing, chef's kiss.
Sebo.
It's his best work, Sebo. Comfortably his best work. Best I've ever seen.
Magnum opus?
This is his magnum opus, not his manifesto, his magnum opus.
No. Tobler's got the manifesto haircut going on at the moment.
Yeah.
It's slowly growing back out, though. When it's starting to look a little bit...
It's looking grey.
Well, you're going to start getting your roots done?
Maybe I might get a retouch-up before we go to Vegas.
I can guarantee that Tobler gets a touch-up before we go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Probably.
Strikes me as that sort of guy.
Well, he's a blonde. He wants to be a blonde. Like, he likes
You should do your beard too.
Why don't you shave it? I reckon it looks better if you shave it.
Like proper...
Like shave
Dick
it
shady.
Like shave it blonde. Because this like blonde coiffy, it's a bit much.
A fan?
I love it. Well, no, not a fan. You look like Michael Slater, who's...
Hey, he did it after me.
Do we know that? Okay, you look like a mixture. Can you get these two photos up? You look like Michael Slater of disgraced former Australian opener fame. I don't know if that's what you call him. And Robin Williams from 1 Hour Photo. Where he's like a murderer, isn't he?
I think, he's up to no good.
I think he's a murderer. I don't think it's any more nefarious than that. And I'm not hearing...
He's a stalker.
He's a stalker.
/ murderer? I can't remember. Many moons ago I watched that movie. Definitely a stalker.
Definitely etch.
Definitely plays with himself.
You're the least etch of the three of those, though. But I would just like to see you
But
shave.
you're in that sort of company.
I think shaved looks a bit tougher.
but he's not a tough guy. He's too squidgy.
Is that like a personality thing or more like
Personality.
Squidgy
No,
around
you're
the-
squidgy, like a squidgy guy. I just want to squidge you.
I got tough in me, bro.
Okay. If you say so.
Hey, why don't if I shave my head for Vegas and go blonde again?
You want me
Eddie,
to shave my head? Yeah.
Well,
I'll
you
shave
said
it.
by the end of last
It's not
year.
that. It's not like this crazy thing that. Like, I'm happy to do it. That's not a problem.
We'll do it.
I will. I'll do it.
For Vegas?
I'll do it on Thursday.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so there's Michael
See, that's
Slater.
Michael Slater,
Yeah,
a.k.a. Tommy
Tobler.
Tobler.
even the glasses, dude.
That's what you're going to look like.
Yeah, that is. That's what you look like as well with it grown out. Like if you shave it, you look a bit tougher. Could you also please go to
It's a weird
Robin
photo.
Williams 1 hour photo?
Let's just stop and just take in this photo of Michael Slater,
I know.
former opener, now disgraced. It's a weird photo. It's fucking strange. I don't like the face he's pulling. It's very intimidating.
I think he's been through some hard times and he's maybe trying to get his life back on track, which I am all for. But the photo is
Let's just unpack the photo on its merits. It's weird shit.
it's weird shit. Yeah, it is. Because he's not even smiling. That sort of and then
okay.
and then followed by the compression.
Yeah.
Infrared sauna, cold plunging compression boots. What a great start to the day. Doesn't look like you're having a great start to the day.
Tom, what would you say if you were to walk into the gym and at the entry to said gym, I'm sitting in a chair in me compressions? Is that a weird look?
I don't know that it's a weird. I used to have to do it back in the day, the compressions. Before it was cool, before it was like, I used to have to do it for me knee.
At home on your own time,
Yeah.
or at the
No,
entrance
they
to a
weren't
gym?
at gyms then. It was like, well, you had to like borrow it from the school. I mean,
Is this when you were trying to get back to the first 15?
well, this was once I had to make
After
it
you-
back from dislocating my knee and getting knocked out. Thank you, Josh Cohen, once more, who every time I see him is like, why do you bring that up that you know that I knocked you out? And I'm like, because you did. You knocked me the fuck out, dude. So thank you for that. But that was on my famous return from injury where I used those. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And now can you get up Robin Williams from 1 hour photo where
Like
he
he's trying to.
plays-
He's trying to. I've asked him like 400 times.
No, I'm not. We were staying on Michael.
do your job.
Slater.
Yep. Yep.
There it is. That's you, dude.
We need. Where are those glasses? We've got some of
Robin
those
Williams-
Sebo might even have them. Sebo,
very similar.
have you got your Jeffrey Dahmer glasses here? Oh, okay. No, we're just saying Tobler looks like fucking Robin Williams from 1 hour photo.
Fuck, he looks like my old man, Robin Williams. Wigs me out every time I see it.
He does, doesn't he? The mouth.
Yeah, the mouth.
It's the mouth.
It's the mouth. Correct.
The Chilton mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you seeing it now?
Okay. You've got
A
you.
lot of 1 hour photo about
You
me.
like? I think you've wallpapered your house with people's skin. That's what it looks like.
So will you shave yours and blonde it?
Yeah.
Or you don't want to shave it?
After these two comparisons, I might even shave it tonight.
Because I don't
I'm gonna
mind the blonde. but-
shave and re-blonde.
Yeah. Because we know you're already going to reblonde.
Can you blonde it when it's that short? I suppose Kalen Ponga does, doesn't he?
I guess you could, but you could always just blonde it and then shave it. The other way around.
That's how you'd probably do it.
Oh, that's probably smarter.
probably.
That's probably smarter footy. Anyway, that was sort of a long-winded way of saying we don't like how it looks now and we want to change it.
And we need you to address
Real
it.
long-winded.
We need you to-
Any other examples that you want to...
I tell you how you could look. Look up Bruce Willis. I think it's in Fifth Element when he had blonde hair. This is what you could look like. Hope you're doing well, Bruce.
Oh, with the frosted tips, maybe once
See,
it grows
you know
out
what?
a
That's
little bit.
almost too long. But that's sort of how I imagine you
That's
to look.
very.
That's Tobler.
That's very in sync. Late 90s.
Yeah, that is. But there's cooler images from the film than the one where he looks like he wants to fuck you.
And it looks like he's been airbrushed.
Yeah. Fifth Element, for the dribblers out there, if you haven't seen it, is genuinely one of the greatest movies of all time. Comfortably.
I've not seen it.
Dude, it is so
I've
good.
not seen it.
And like, not in the way that you might be like, oh, well, like Oppenheimer's good. It's not like it's some Oscar-winning movie. It's like, it's just a fucking amazing, stylized, like space fucking movie, but it's like futuristic, but it's not. It's set in the future, but then now it was made in the 90s, so it's like
Like Blade Runner.
yeah, but Blade Runner's, again, gritty and etched. This is kind of like got a fucking comedic tone to it as well.
Sure.
I couldn't recommend a movie highly enough. Like, yeah, it's classic, dude. Sebo, film guy.
Film
fucking
buff. Film buff.
Film buff.
How's Bruce doing?
I don't think he's doing great. I think he's on the
Has
way
he got
out.
dementia?
Yeah.
Yep. Terrible. Shout out to Bruce.
Aphasia, I believe, is what it's called. It's a form of dementia. Shout out to Bruce. One of the all-time greats is Bruce.
Oh, comfortably.
Comfortably.
He's top run sort of guy, you know?
Also a guy that wasn't afraid of going bald, which I like. Like, he was like, I'm
he
going
leant
bald.
into it. He couldn't give a fuck.
But, like, to be honest, I almost growing up looking at that hairline didn't even know.
Couldn't know because he owned it. He owned every centimetre, every inch.
Every retiring inch of his fucking hairline.
Yeah. He owned
retreating inch.
He owned it. And it retreated further and further every film, but he didn't care.
No, he didn't give a fuck. Like, the fact that you're growing that out, like, that hair right there in Fifth Element is where, like, you know, these days, you see on Ashley and Martin, they're like, Ravi, you loser, you're going bald. Like, they guilt you into feeling bad about it.
Yeah. Oh, gee. I got asked to be the best man at my mate's wedding, and the first thing I thought was, you can't wear hats to a wedding. That's the ad.
You can't wear
hats. This is so fucking
This
edge.
is so edge.
I always used to be the one taking the photos. Now I can be in the photos.
Yeah.
You see Ashley Martin.
Yeah.
What'd they do for you?
Yeah,
Nothing.
right.
Lies.
Let's zero in on the thing that let's try and make you feel as insecure about something you have no control over. At least, like, when you're fat, you can lose weight. Like,
correct.
No one's hair's coming back. That's why we need more Bruce Willises out there, just letting it fucking all hang out.
But letting it retreat on its own terms.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't in the mood to speed it up or slow it down. He just let it happen.
He's just like, listen, dude, if I want to grow it out a little bit for this film where I'm a fucking space guy, then I will. And then if I want to shave it off, I'll also do that.
I can play both.
But you won't tell me what to do.
No.
And I won't be fucking Ashley and Martin into fucking trying to grow it back.
God, no. He would have flogged Ashley and Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Flogged the shit out of him.
Fucking oath. Assuming
the living piss out
they're
of
both men. Ashley is a male name as well. I just want to...
I'm assuming...
that Ashley and Martin, both men.
Both men. Because Ashley can play both ways.
Correct.
Although I've always found it to be a little bit more feminine than masculine.
Listen, I think it's...
And that's no disrespect to all the Ashleys out there listening. It's just how I've been reared.
You've been reared by a couple of Ashleys over your time?
Well, growing up, I think I knew more Ashleys that were women than men.
I don't know if I know any Ashleys that are dudes.
There's my point.
Listen, can play both sides, but it's dudes. That's a chick's name. It's a chick's name.
But
I can play both sides.
Can play both.
But Bruce would beat the fuck out of.
Oh, Bruce, yeah. I mean, do you see Bruce in Die Hard 2 and 1 and 3? But 1 and 2 particularly.
And 4, I think he probably did.
And 5 potentially.
Potentially did 5.
Should we talk some sport?
Maybe. Punters and Dribbles, the podcast this week. Podcast. Sorry, I said that weirdly. But it is brought to you by our good friends at Ned's.
Yes, sir.
That's the betting platform of choice over here at Hello Sport, and we love them to death. Now, I've got to say this, Eddie, rugby league back. It's on our doorstep. It's tickling the sack, as it were. And I kicked things off on the weekend with some really nice same-game multis.
I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm proud of you.
If you were following me profile, if you were following along in the group, you would have seen it and you would have an opportunity to do it. You just would have seen what I was doing.
It's same-game multi-season.
Yeah.
It's time to get out there, put on your belt buckle, put on your jeans, put on the big hat, okay, the Spurs, and go and try to wrangle a couple of boys.
That's basically what I did. And I don't want to, this isn't like bragging season. I'm just letting you know. Because on profiles, on Neds, or in the group about even on Neds, we share all of our bets. So
There's
if you just want to see what we're up to.
There's accountability.
It's accountability there. You want to see what we're up to, you would have seen that I went Semi Valame, Reece Walsh and Cobbo anytime. You would have seen that I was on Herbie first try scorer. You would have seen the Rabbitohs paying $2 and I got on. You would have seen all of these things.
In the profiles, in the group, only at Ned's.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Come and join us.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website. Back to Vegas, because this is sport related. You and I going to Vegas.
Yeah, we are. Ran into Connor Watson the other day. Had his shirt off. Just
Did
wanted
he?
to say that.
Where did you run into him? Because
At Bondi.
I always get the vibe that he's like he won't wear a shirt most places.
He was in Bondi. Didn't have a shirt on. Just gorgeous. Just wanted that out there. On
just
the
walking around.
He was waiting for a coffee. We had a good chat.
See, that's the dream, right? Is to be so fucking good looking that just waiting for a coffee. I've never waited for a coffee with my shirt off. I don't think. Maybe like a pool.
Well, you'd be ruining days if you did.
That's what I mean, though. I don't want to ruin day, but I'd know that. I'd be ruining my own day.
No, but you're self-aware.
Correct. Some aren't. But I would like to be making people's days.
Yes.
Like Connor would. Because if I walk past or Connor waiting for a coffee, I wouldn't even necessarily, I mean, obviously I'd say g'day, but even if I didn't say g'day, it'd be like day made there.
Yeah. Well, he was out there making days, for sure.
Either way. Manly, Vegas, Manly, a couple of things. Manly have been told to stay off Tinder in Vegas. I don't like government overreach at the best of times.
No, you and I, pretty open about the fact that we think the government probably trying to meddle in too many affairs.
Yeah, getting their fucking nose
and
in too many places.
I certainly draw the line. In fact, the line's nowhere near this, but if I were to draw a line, I would be drawing it before allowing the boys to go out and put their penises in things.
Yeah, consensually.
Of course, consent.
I know,
I
but
don't
that's
think
what
that
I
even
mean.
needs to be.
But that's the point, right? Like
know.
if you were, not that it bears mentioning,
Yeah.
but if you were trying to advise them against, anything that wasn't 100% consensual, you'd be like, okay, of course.
Yep.
But what, you can't go and have fucking sex?
Are you telling me?
Sucked and fucked in Vegas?
Are you telling me that you're going to take 30 hot, young, horny, strapping men, not all that young, but young relatively?
Not all single, so not everyone.
I'm talking the single ones here. I'm talking the single ones. Obviously, the boys that are in relationships would never never play up. I'm talking about the single boys here, hot, horny, ready to go. Are you telling me that you're going to leverage their talent, their personality, their charisma,
Their looks.
their character, their looks, and
Talent,
their aura,
charisma.
their talent, charisma, aura,
Looks.
to advance the game in the biggest market on the planet and not allow them to go out and put their penises in things? By things, I mean mouths, bums, vajays.
Yeah, and just mouths, bums, vajays, and holes, I think. Because if you don't want to...
Well, glory holes.
Glory holes.
Yes. Was that on the list?
Well, you actually...
Is there a Tinder hole for? Is there a Tinder for glory holes?
Maybe how it's like Airbnb.
You got to book. You got to book in
Airbnb for holes.
You book in a hole. Oh, but come on, mate! I had this book from fucking 2:00. Some bloke's in there can't get off, and he's fucking hogging the hole.
Well, yeah, exactly, mate. Can you fucking hurry up here? With the cleaners have arrived. Check out, it was 10 o'clock, mate.
Check out 10:00, mate. I got this thing booked.
Yes, look, I don't know if there's Tinder for holes or like an Airbnb for glory holes.
Not the point.
No, it's not the point. Even if there is or there isn't, the boys should be allowed to use them.
Yes.
They're free citizens in a free society.
In a free country.
Yeah. Last time I checked.
Now you could make a case, Tom, and one I'd probably go along with, that in the lead up to the game, potentially they need to abstain. You could.
I feel like scientifically that doesn't actually. It's not true.
Listen, if you wanted to say to me that you wanted the boys focused 100% on playing good, honest, hard, tough rugby league football, you could sway me either way. I don't really give a shit. But to tell me that after the game the boys can't go out and let their hair down, so to speak, is absurd.
Put their penis in some things.
Yes. Some consensual things, Tom. Again, bums, mouths, vajays,
Hands,
feet,
holes,
ears, whatever.
pits, tits, slits and bits.
Correct. I think that's absolutely fucking disgraceful by Manly. And I don't think that
Not my club.
not my club. I don't think it bodes well for the season.
Well, listen, when you look at the fucking way we went against the Roosters on the weekend, I think our season's looking pretty good. Maybe it's also maybe it's just about having it outwardly.
I assume they're allowed to use Tinder.
But maybe it's more about, and this could actually be, if I'm playing the devil's advocate for the club here, this could be one of those, don't use Tinder, boys. Like, we'll say it because we have to say it outwardly.
Why do they have to say it?
Well, just maybe is it like from like a seen to be like.
Seen to be meddling. That's what I don't like about this. like, let's just circle back to the start. This is government oversight.
Yeah, overreach.
Overreach. This is red tape.
Yeah, this is. Well, this is freezing my bank accounts because I'm protesting, sort of stuff.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, this is fucking social credit scores.
This is opposition leader in Russia sort of stuff.
Yeah, this is Navalny, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Is that his name, Navalny?
I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it at all.
Well, it's a dangerous first step.
I've been led to believe that when they're over there, it's as though it's like a normal, regular training week, essentially, like back in Australia. So the boys are going to have free time.
It's going to be tough for him, isn't it?
The boys are going to have free time. And I think it's absurd in the extreme for them not to be able to go out and taste some of the local cuisine.
Well, but also, listen... But also to like put their own mark on America, right? Like,
not a permanent one, I would hope.
No, of course not a permanent mark, but well, listen.
Things happen.
Well, things happen, and maybe you do father a child. Like, that's all right. That happens too. Look, children are a wonderful one of life's wonderful gifts.
Yes.
Be that accidental, intentional, or otherwise. So were one of them to father a child, I'd support them. They'd have a friend in me.
Yeah.
If they ever, they'd have a generous ear if they wanted to lean on me and ask me any questions. Now that's maybe not the point, and maybe that's taking this thing for a walk too far. But I mean, I just think if that's what they want to do, if that's the path they want to walk, then they should be allowed to do so.
I think we should be looking to raise cultured, progressive, open-minded young men.
Strong man. Brave.
Yep.
Vulnerable though as well.
Yep.
Feel, and comfortable to go out there and, share intimate moments with people.
That's exactly right.
Whether it be behind a restaurant or in a
dunny
or in a toilet on a casino floor
or 40 floors up in a suite.
Or in a suite that they've actually booked separate to their own one just to get a bit of peace and quiet.
That's right. Conjoining room sort of stuff. That's where growth is. Yeah. Growth lies in getting a nut off.
And that's not Eric Growth. Or junior or senior.
Spelt the wrong way.
Correct.
I'm talking about GROWTH sort of growth.
Yeah. Not OTHE.
Correct. So you can fucking park that bullshit, Manly. Now, Tom, you and I think spoke, maybe not on our own podcast, potentially on Blokes last week, around the fact that in our eyes, in our minds, the number one ticket holder status at the club is up for grabs, so to speak.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going toe-to-toe with thespian Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's been invited to have dinner with the club.
I know, I saw that.
Has he taken up the offer?
I assume
and where
he
the
has.
Fuck's our offer?
Yeah, where's our invite? That's what I'd like to... Listen,
Who's done more for the club in the last 3 years?
There's a chance that fucking Scott Penn not a huge fan of Tom and Eddie.
Surely he's got over the bloody Chairman's Lounge incident. That was years ago.
That was fucking years ago, Scott. Yeah, sure, we took it to you in front of a bunch of aging, greats of the club.
But none of those people in the room would still be with us.
Well, no, they wouldn't be. That whole night died with the people in that room. And you best believe that most of them are dead.
The only witnesses left, Scott, are you and I.
Yeah.
And Tom.
It. And it's us. It's time to bury the hatchet and invite us to that fucking dinner.
Again, let's get fair income. Let's get down to brass tacks. Who's done more for the club in the last 3 or 4 years than Tom and I? No one. Hugh's done fuck all. No offence. And this isn't about Hugh. This is about what's right and what's wrong.
You know what? I actually don't want it to become about us v Hugh because Hughes,
it's not about
It's not about that. Hugh's an asset to the club. Yes. And we want
multiple assets.
We want multiple assets. We want to try and build a nice asset base, to be honest.
Yes. A nice asset base. We want to diversify our portfolio.
The club, certainly, it's in their best interest to have a diverse portfolio of fans.
So Tom and I hit the punter and the dribbler. Hugh hits Hollywood. He hits Hollywood.
The Les Miserables.
That's right.
The award show season.
That's exactly right.
Not wearing much Manly gear to the award shows, though, I will say that. It's all very, suit and tie. But he could do more, yeah, sure. But
he's Broadway's West End.
That's it. He's Boy from Oz.
That's right.
He's fucking Deadpool. Sure, he's got some reach. But look at his social media game. He doesn't even he's never on there.
He's never on there.
He's got 20 fucking million followers. He's not utilising them.
How many 13-plus jumpers he sold?
Hey, is he putting any highlights up of fucking the boys getting after it? Has he ever fucking DM'd Ola Kawatu and said, great game, bruh?
Has he ever bought a PS5 for the boys because they were playing with old school crap and it made the club look like it was Bush League?
He made us look like the Tigers. Did he go and, think about it. Hugh Jackman could afford probably $1 billion PS5s. We can't afford $1 billion, and we fucking forked out of our own hard-earned blood, sweat, and tears sort of shit PS5 for the club.
Took us 6 weeks to put the skins on.
6 weeks to get the skins on. Those stickers did not go on easy. Now, sure, you could say the stickers of yourselves, it's somewhat indulgent. It was indulgent, but it was important that we did it.
Well, because we made a promise.
We made a promise.
To the club.
That we would put our faces on that fucking thing and give it to them.
That's exactly right. And we did. And we delivered. And all I'm saying is, what has Hugh done? It's not about us versus Hugh, and I think that's an important distinction to make, Tom. You're very clever in bringing that up. Clever, not the right word. Doesn't matter.
But I am clever.
But you are clever. It's about what we offer the club, what we've done for the club, and it would be nice, I think, to be recognised from time to time.
But recognition in the form of a fucking steak and a beer with the boys. Yeah. I'm not asking for a fucking rim job here.
No.
But I'll take it.
Listen, if rimmies are going,
Hands
I'd like to be... both hands are up. Can I be a little bit of a greedy guts here and, can I have more than one, sir?
Yeah, can I have a steak and a rimmy?
But but I'll settle for a couple of beers and a couple of laughs with the boys before one of the biggest games of their career.
Yeah, I just don't know how it's not even
because we used to be in club.
We did. We used to be
in club.
We would come down to bloody team photos and then I don't know what's happened.
We used to get invited to awards nights, Tom.
Yeah. That's true.
Black suit sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And something's changed. I don't know what it is, but I'd like it to be rectified.
Get us to that dinner.
Get us to it.
Do we almost have to, campaign the club, the players?
Well, we can officially commence the campaign now.
Consider this campaign started.
We're on the campaign trail.
Yeah, we are.
Should we be at the dinner midweek with you and the boys?
It's not a question. It's not should we. It's get us to that fucking dinner. Because should we is a question.
Let's be honest. Let's all be fucking fair income. And just ask yourselves a simple question. When you think Manly, do you think Tom and Eddie? Yes, you do. I don't think Hugh Jackman, no offence.
Listen, it's not about... No.
I'm just saying.
No. Listen, when I think Hugh Jackman, I think Les Miserables, I think West End, I think Boy from Oz, I think Wolverine.
I think Broadway.
That's what I think. And then I also think Hugh also a noted Manly fan and one that I respect greatly and have a love for. But I am I just wouldn't mind a steak with the boys as well and Hugh Jackman.
Let's all sit down and have a nice steak together. Medium rare, preferably. Although I can go up to medium if required.
If required, I fillet preferably not big Scotch fillet guys.
We don't like Scotch fillets.
And that's mainly because my dad put it in our heads. But I do agree with
We'll also share a T-bone if they're going. We're happy to do that.
Yeah,
if you want Tom and I to share, that's fine. We can do it.
If we have to share, I just won't share a drink.
No.
That I will not do.
We share a ciggy or a vape, though.
Share a ciggy or a vape, but not a drink or a toothbrush or toothpaste.
We want to come back into the club.
Bring us back in.
Yeah, we want to be back. We want to be a part of...
Back under the wing?
Yeah.
Get us back under the wing, dude.
Because we're out here flying solo. Obviously, we've got each other and, we get it. We get ourselves through the night, so to speak. But
keep each other warm.
We do. But it'd be nice to come back in under wing.
Yeah.
To use a bird term.
Well, considering they are birds, that seems to make sense. Now, I don't know who have upset. Prepared to not apologise for anything we've done.
We won't be apologising, but we are prepared to...
be allowed back in and invited to dinner.
Yeah. Did you watch Manly take on the Roosters?
I did,
With our Seaside, almost won?
Yeah, exactly. That was our New South Wales Cup side. Brandon Wakeham at the helm. You get the drift. And the Roosters...
But, mate, what, 60 minutes in? Looked like we were going to win.
Yeah, mate.
Was that the math?
The Roosters...
That's gone off, Tobler.
The Roosters had Joey Manu, Tedesco, Crichton, fucking... Connor Watson, Sam Walker, Luke Keary, Satili Tupanua. They had all the motherfuckers playing. First grade side. That's, which to me, you know how, and I don't know whether we were talking about this the other way. Yeah, look at that fucking side, dude. Jesus Christ. And look at our try scorers. Like, you know, there's one of them that's probably... You could argue that not one of the people who scored tries for us are guaranteed a first-grade spot. Toff Sipley would be the one that I think should be, but other than that...
Will Sipley be in the 17?
You would think.
You would think.
Even though he's now been suspended for 3 weeks for a crush tackle. I wonder if they still fly him to Vegas.
No, you wouldn't bother.
How hard is it to change a ticket if they've paid for him for a business for like a flight?
Well, I think the deal they've done and the reason that they're going to via Fiji and the fact that you would have seen Fiji Airlines in goal, or at least on the field, if memory serves, is because they've done a deal. And I think the nature of such means that they could move shit around. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I don't think they're on like sale tickets.
But let's say you couldn't. Let's say, heaven forbid, you couldn't go to a fucking.
You can move it around.
So you could just go, oh sweet, we'll give it to Cody over there.
Or transfer the ticket.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could.
Usually they just charge you a fee to do so.
Yeah. Be like a transfer fee, exchange fee.
Yeah.
But I think because Fiji's probably
Doing a deal.
they've done a deal with Fiji Airlines. Shout out to them.
Shout out to him. Look at the try scorers for the Roosters. Walker, Young, Tupou, Tupanua, Tupou, Watson, Ponga. They rolled out their best fucking side and we basically had them beat.
We had them dead to rights, Tom.
You know how we smashed the Rabbitohs the other day where it was like fucking 60 to 2
Like
or
60,
some
70,
shit,
80 points.
right?
Yeah.
We had some good players playing in that game and they didn't, right? It was a good win, but that was like, yeah, you want to beat the fuck out of that team because they don't have many players playing, right? Like if it was a fucking 36-22 game against the Rabbitohs, we would have been disappointed.
Correct.
The Roosters should be disappointed with that win.
Well, the Roosters are shit.
They are.
Then they'll do fuck all this year. I think we all know that, don't we?
Well, we
That's
certainly
what we gleaned from the performance.
That's
Roosters
a
are
bad
fucked.
performance.
Look at this side: Tedesco, Tupou, Billy Smith, Suaalii, Dom Young, Luke Keary, Sam Walker. That's the back line.
That's the back line, dude.
Do the fucking math. White, Docker Clay, Collins, Tupanua, Butcher, Radley.
Bench.
Sandon Smith, Terrell May.
Egan, Butcher, Angus Crichton. Okay, so they've got an Australian player on the bench. That's
Then
cool.
they've got in reserves Joseph Manu, Siwa Wong, Connor Watson, and this Pauga fellow. So a pretty good-looking rugby league side, one that should have put 50 on us, one that was basically beaten until we took our foot off the throat and, you know, just coasted to the finish line.
Well, listen, we were trying some stuff.
In other Manly news, congratulations, round of applause to Jake Trbojevic.
Yes. Great day for the club. Great day, proud day for the club. And Ruben the week before. I don't know if we shouted Ruben out. Keep the applause going for Ruben Garrick.
It's special stuff.
Yeah.
Love's in the air at the club.
Well, it's a settled club. You know what I mean?
I think Jake goes to another level from here.
Yeah.
I think Ruben does too. When you've locked in a beautiful woman, in their case,
Yeah.
I just think you set another foundation for yourself from which to build and grow.
Well, it's the most important contract they'll ever sign.
There's no bullshit in that either. There's no bullshit.
Well, especially with what you stand to lose if you break the contract.
Correct. You listen. You lose half of fucking every dollar you've made or earned or own if you were to break a contract in a rugby league sense. No. And I'm not here to nickel and dime or dispute the laws of marriage. Not my racket, and in fact I support all the laws of a marriage, Tom, given I am married.
Correct.
Merely pointing out that this is clearly the most important contract that he'll ever sign, and I'm pumped for it.
Well, now you've got, it's like the contract will take care of itself. I just want to play good footy.
Yep.
Now that he is, he's popped the Quezzy, he's got the answer that he wants.
Yep.
Now you just leave it to basically the future missus, and probably her mother to work out all of the other shit. And then
He's too busy. He's got to go there and play rugby league football.
But you just wait for game day to perform, and then we move on.
Again, he's got to perform for club, state, and country. So he's got other things on his plate, Tom. Jake does not have time to organise weddings. I won't allow it. But congratulations to him, and congratulations to Ruben. One more thing on Manly before we potentially move on. We may not. Not sure. Cody, was he mentioning something in the green room around the fact that Tom Trbojevic running the fastest he's run in 3 years?
The rugby league, the NRL physio, he put up a video last week, was it? I think we may have missed it, but it was like a club.
Worth going over now.
No. Just saying. Something about Tommy being like, he hasn't run this quick for 3 years. The only issue I have with that, Eddie, is drawing too much attention to it.
Well, no, we're not drawing attention to it.
It seems like we are.
No, but we're not going. We're not unpacking this with a fine-tooth comb. We're merely pointing out something that's already been reported.
Are we going to watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got it there.
We're just
Tobler?
watching it though. We're not doing anything else.
No, not doing anything else. Just watching a piece of content
that's already out there.
That's already out there.
We're not making
doing.
this.
It's a piece of content.
Obviously, Turbo, that was. But T, obviously, you're moving pretty quick. That's the fastest you've run for a couple of years.
I'm back in again on Tom Trbojevic for like the 6th year in a row.
Obviously, Turbo, that was. But T, obviously, you're moving pretty quick. That's the fastest you've run for a couple of years.
I'm back in
Okay.
again on Tom Trbojevic.
Basically, the trainer's saying it's the fastest he's run for a couple of years. Trainer's words, not ours.
How old is Tom?
29?
7, I think.
Just check that one. 29.
27.
27. Fuck, that's prime.
He's fucking young as shit.
That's prime years. And what's Jake, 30? Jake wouldn't be 30, would he?
30, 31?
No.
30?
30.
30.
Listen, you can get fooled by the fact that we've watched these two young footballers come up from fucking, SG Ball, Harold Matt sort of stuff, and we've watched them come up through the ranks. You can be forgiven for thinking they're still 2021.
I do often. I do that regularly.
But you and I not 2021 ourselves anymore.
No, I'm 35 in a couple of months, which is etch as it gets. Just back on Manly quickly. I know that we've
Fuck, that's punchy,
Yeah,
bro.
I know it is. Fucking can't stop laughing over there. Another Manly player who's coming through, who looked hot in the little bits I was like sort of paying attention to. Humphreys? Toby Humphreys? Someone Humphreys? I started following him on the gram. I can't remember his name.
Jamie Humphreys?
Huh?
Jamie
Humphreys. Got a bit about him, this kid. Just a bit. I don't know if where he sat in Gurus could be anything, if he fucking popped up at all, but Humphreys. Keep an eye out for that, motherfucker.
Pause?
Huh? Oh, I think he'd be a 14.
Okay. We get some 14s running
We got
around.
some 14s already. Has a kicking game on him as well. I think he's a halfback.
We got some 14s running around.
But like, when we're going like, where the fuck? So I think he was a halfback coming through the grades, and now it's sort of more like 14 is the way that he'd be introduced into the fold. But, sometimes when, and not you and I specifically, we're calm, level-headed, measured, but some people would maybe get a little bit frantic and maybe overwhelmed when you're like, what's going to happen after DCE? We signed Brooks, he needs a dominant half, we're fucked without him, sort of thing. That's not how we reacted.
No.
There's always a plan. There's always someone you're just not hearing about. What about Farnell? Where's he gone? Maybe it's this Humphreys fella. Can you please go to John Hopawadi's Instagram? Saw this the other day. This thing was fucking... This is some good shit. I hope it hasn't been taken down.
Is this John Hopawadi in sorting out a bloke who
Tried to do
take
some
it to
road
him?
rage? Yeah. So basically, just get it up. I want to read the caption. But basically what I think is, so when you're 6'8" and think your size can intimidate anyone, you get out of your car and punch my mirror and swung at me during your road rage. You get the bitch slapped out of you and you start yelling, help me, rape. Then you run to the cops like the little bitch that you are and make a complaint. Lol. Doesn't it suck that you got slapped and cried like a mutt, then ran and made a complaint and nothing is going to happen because you started it, lol. Hashtag, not everyone is scared of your size, hashtag.
Now, if you listen to him here, let's just get the
let's just
video
get that.
and you listen to the great John. So the guy is on his back up against a
Tree or a power pole.
And Hopper is screaming in his face with his finger up to his face going, don't be a fucking bitch.
And then slaps him, I think, when the...
Yeah, he does. This guy would have got the shock of his life when he starts trying to be a big tough cunt and doesn't realise he's going after the great John Hoppa.
Dude, could you imagine?
That would be the regret, the instant regret that this bloke would have felt when John hopped out of the car would have been so pure to watch.
What's that like? You must be wondering how I got here.
Yeah.
And it's just like getting out and
Folded against a power pole with your gut out, getting slapped by John.
on a rainy day.
On a
so
rainy
you're
day.
laying on wet grass as well, just to add insult to injury, with your big fat tum popping out.
He looks like a huge, big, fat tub of lard, this bloke on the ground.
He
and
does.
John Hoppa still looking
Well, listen, John Hoppa will
every bit the rugby league.
John
presence.
Hoppa will be able to kill people till the day he dies. You know what I mean?
Look at those pipes, dude. Look at that.
Don't be a fucking bitch.
Oh my God. What a fuck up. That's got to be the biggest fuck up of the year so far, this bloke. This
Yeah,
big
I'd
fat
say so.
pudgy loser who's on the ground going, don't hit me. Like, if you're going to walk the walk and try to be a tough cunt trying to fight people in a road rage incident, then
Yeah, he's used to people shitting themselves at his 6'8" size. John Hoppa, like, bro, you think I give a fuck? I'm the most suspended man in the history of rugby league, which is coming on 120 years long.
and the rest.
Well, 100 years was 2008.
So
I'm right. Coming up.
but they would have been playing it before the NRL, you know?
Well, rugby league as we know it, 120, 100 and whatever.
So were they not playing any rugby league before 1908? They would have been.
I'm saying, you know, like Australia was federation in 1900, right?
1901.
Whatever. You get my point, right? So Australia was still here before then, but it became a thing, a fish, you know?
A fish,
So rugby league, as we know and love it, coming up on 120.
officially.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Well, as we know and love it.
Officially.
Yep. As we officially know and love it. Shout out to this guy.
And shout out to John Hoppa.
Also screaming.
I've actually missed John. We haven't enjoyed John content for a little while now.
No, I know, but he's always delivering. The guy
Can
screaming.
you take this off the screen, please, Tob?
Yeah,
It's giving
doing my head in.
me.
The guy screaming rape
It's making me sick.
is actually pathetic as well. The guy was screaming rape, like, help me, I'm getting raped.
Yeah, well, he's certainly not getting raped in the video.
No, he's not getting raped. I just mean the fact that he's even yelling that. Like, you want to talk about, oh, what's that one with his hand? What's he done there? Sorry, now I'm just in John Hoppa Instagrams.
He took his cast off in his sleep.
Okay.
His hand's heavily stitched.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. I thought maybe it'd tell me why your hand's stitched.
Maybe then the next one. His hand's stitched in that next photo.
Trying to cut a coconut.
When you try to cut coconut but put the knife straight through your hand, and my wife thinks I did it on purpose so I didn't have to drive to Queensland tonight for her niece's 21st. I'm not ruling that
No,
out.
I'm not ruling that out either.
Is anyone ruling that out?
I don't think you rule that out.
It's a long drive.
Luciano Leilua. Now,
Yeah, bruh.
we were talking about it on the DMP the other day. That's the Dirty Merger podcast with the one and only Denon Grandpa podcast in camp. And I think the yarn that Matty pulled up was that Luciano had been spotted walking to Cogra. We then obviously deduced that he'd been walking all the way from
Townsville. 18 days, 20 hours, something like that. Non-stop, unchecked.
And, you know, Dragons trying to get another, you know, Dragons obviously haven't signed anyone really of note, no disrespect, but they're trying to get Luciano back. We were worried about whether he was, the clarity of his thoughts, if he was considering going back there. Heard since then that he also now, the Raiders are the favourites to get him, which would just, you know, spit in the face of the Dragons, which is nice. But have you heard what his apparent asking price is?
At the Raiders? Or
What
just
he's
generally-
asking.
Generally speaking. No, I haven't.
What do you reckon?
For the big luge? What's fair? What's reasonable?
Yeah, what's fair and what's reasonable?
Or
Slash,
what do
like,
I
what do you
think he's
think he'd ask?
Is he asking 800?
9.
Really?
Apparently.
4 year
For
deal.
4 years.
That's bold from Luch.
It is.
That's a lot of dough, Ray me.
But, like, you could probably get that maybe. Well, I don't know if anyone would pay that for Luch, in fairness, but you might be able to get it at, like, a lower club. But even then, think of that. Tigers, no, they wouldn't because they've already got.
Not anymore. They would certainly, once upon a time, they were in that
would
sort
have.
of...
The Dogs wouldn't. Fish wouldn't.
Dragons would.
The Dragons are probably the only ones.
Although I've heard that their salary cap's completely
or maybe the
fucked anyway.
Raiders actually would because it's like they have to pay overs to get people to the club. Like they just have to.
You know how there's a Sydney tax in the AFL? If you live in Sydney, you can pay more money because the cost of living's higher. That's what they argue. Realistically, there should be a Canberra tax where you can pay more because you got to get people to come down to an absolute shithole. No offense.
Yeah, the poo tax, something like that.
Like people that work in sewerage, for example,
danger pay.
They get paid more. Oh, you want me to go and swim in a pile of shit? Or a pond of shit?
A puddle.
A puddle of shit? I'd like more money.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you.
And that's reasonable. That's fair to ask that. Also, are you a pearl diver? Are you diving for abalone off the south coast of Australia?
Where you're likely to get a limb taken off.
Where you're likely to lose a limb from a great white, considering it's literally great white shark territory and there's seals everywhere. And they basically want you to dress like a seal and go and get abalone. You get paid for that. Now, I'm not saying that living in Canberra is dangerous unless you're Latrell Mitchell and Jack Whiten, but it's a shithole and you should be remunerated accordingly.
What we're saying is it's not too dissimilar to working day to day in a septic tank.
Now, Dogs beat the Storm. I mean, none of these games mean anything in terms of score line.
Listen, if you think that the preseason challenge means anything, you're an idiot.
You're an absolute idiot.
You're a fucking idiot. You don't get rugby league.
No.
In fact, I would argue that you're better off not winning it.
Yeah.
I'd avoid winning it at all costs.
Yeah. There's no point in winning.
There's no point in winning.
There's no value to winning the preseason. I mean, now there is a literal monetary value, but like that's.
But if you don't try at all and you win, like we did last year, that's fine. But if you try, like the Roosters did, and you win, then
and
it's
barely
sort of
win.
lame.
There's also a thing though as well. Like if you don't try, you can never really fail.
Correct.
So as it pertains to a preseason tournament, you're best not to try.
Correct. Because then you don't fail.
Yeah. Whereas the Roosters tried and
they technically
they won, but like that's a failure.
But you could argue they failed.
Eels, line through them, tried and failed miserably.
See, that's the other thing. If you try and you fail, your season's over.
Yeah. Eels,
you're done.
Eels, was it 38 Raiders, Eels 16. Eels are done. Eels season is over before it's even started.
I don't think the Eels make the 8.
No, I don't. I'm not. I half liked the Eels when they made the grand final the other year, in terms of the players.
Listen,
and I still do.
You and I have never hated the Eels, really.
Well, not the players.
Not the players, but all we've ever pointed out is that they're not going to win the comp before the sun explodes, and that's not estimated to happen for 3, 4, 5 billion years. So
I think it's 5.
5 billion.
Recent estimates, it's 5. Puts it at 5.
There we go. So I mean, it's got nothing to do with how we feel about the Eels. It's more pure math.
Yeah.
It's astrophysics.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
How long does the sun, how much energy does the sun have?
Correct. Well, how much hydrogen remains in the core of the sun that it can be consumed to keep it at its current size before it fucking goes supernova?
Yeah.
Basically, that's what we're
looking at. But
although it's not actually, it can't go supernova, it's not big enough. But basically, it will go to like red giant, expand, eat the fucking inner planets. You get the drift.
You get it.
You get it. We can't live here anymore. We'll have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
But
we'll leave the Eels behind. Losing to the Raiders, though, in that fashion, that's tough when you're trying as hard as they were.
Why were they just playing at Netstrata Jubilee?
I just don't think anyone could be fucked to go to Canberra. And then...
But why not play at Combank?
Don't know.
Don't you think it's random that they went to Cogra?
I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe because it's a preseason challenge. Like, did they hold any of these games at stadiums?
Maybe they must have had heaps of games because there was back-to-back games at Gosford. Get your money's worth.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably it. But look, good, good for the Raiders. KO Week's getting over. It's about the only name I recognise there. Now, quickly. Tigers. See, this again. Shit game.
This is not where you want to be.
18-16.
You don't want to be there. That's
Sunday
not where you want to be.
Sunday territory, like that's tough, dude. That's tough.
How'd Caesar go? Solid.
How do you feel about your club's performance generally in that game? That's
yeah.
He said he thinks they're going to win the comp for those listening at home.
Cody reckons that the Tigers are going to win the comp. I will preface that he has told us on multiple occasions that he's a diehard. So
and also that he doesn't. It's like the hardest.
He's part of the standing O brigade.
Yeah,
he's a standing O guy. That's
Yeah.
how he sort of presents as a human. He gives standing O's.
What
to
did
things that don't
Samuel
deserve them.
Finau do to get sent off or sin binned? Wow, what a fan! Wow,
Shocking.
wow.
Shocking.
I know what he's up to. I won't mention it.
Yeah.
I won't mention what
Actually,
he's
so
doing.
do I.
Yeah.
Something he usually gets up to. We won't mention
every
it, but
weekend.
every
Oh,
weekend.
quiet weekend, was it? Okay, well, sounds like it. Shout out to Zion Mayu'u, who clean fucking took someone's head off.
Great name.
It is a great name, that's why I said it. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name correctly. I apologize greatly.
I think you had a crack. You did have a crack.
People don't get as upset about like the mispronunciation of like Trebojevic or Gajewski as they do if you fucking accidentally pronounce another name wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone DM me like, fucking pronounce this thing right. I was like, dude, forgive me. But like, relax. I'm not trying to offend you here, sir. Or madam. But or sir. But Zion Mayu'u, that's a rugby league name if ever fucking seen it. Zion, dude.
If you said to me who's likely to get sent off in this game, I'm probably starting with Zion.
Yeah.
I'm just getting that vibe.
Yeah.
And that's not to impugn his work. I'm merely suggesting that a name like Zion probably means that you correlate more highly with getting sent off for reckless endangerment.
Yeah.
You're likely to go high.
But just a fucking shit game.
Yeah. 18-16 Tigers. This will be put in the famous win category, I think, for the season.
But also what happens here is two teams trying and both failing.
Well, did the Warriors try as hard as the Tigers?
I don't know. Can we go to the teams?
Yeah. See, the Tigers are trying.
You're right.
The Tigers are trying.
Tigers are trying.
Look at this side.
Yeah.
Forwards especially.
Yeah.
I don't think the Warriors are trying.
No, Warriors
They're
not
half trying.
No, you're right. Warriors not trying. The Tigers have rolled out an Origin standard, and like by Tiger standards, Origin standard, if that makes sense.
Well, they've put out their best side, Tom.
Yeah.
For a gripping 2-point win. Again, the best course of action in the pre-season comp, punters, dribblers, is to not try. Because if you don't try, you won't fail. And I'm seeing too many teams trying and failing here. That's what I'm saying. Broncos 46-20.
Now, you know what the easiest fucking bet of all time was in this game?
What, mate?
It was Walsh, Cobbo, and Semi Valame anytime. Bang. Thank you very much.
Obviously, all these games were live and exclusive. And ad Franco.
Fucking oath they were. They weren't anywhere else. But in terms of like getting back into my gambling on the weekend, which I did, Souths were paying $2.20 to win against the Dragons. They beat the fucking human piss out of them. Can you just go back to those results, please? The Dragons.
$2.20.
They were paying $2.20 at one point.
28-6.
28-6. Can we just go to that game?
$2.20.
Yeah.
That is absurd.
Might have been $2 by kickoff, but I think I got them at $2.20. I'll double check. I at least got them at $2.
Dragons were definitely favourites.
Yeah, dude. Ridiculous. So I hit Rabbitohs just to win, which was easy as piss. I tell you what, I did make a mistake on. I went a couple of fucking overs and unders bets on a couple other games.
Overs, unders in trials. Yeah. That's fucking stupid.
Well, it was bold. It was bold. One got close, the other one was nowhere near it. But I also went unders, that was bold. I really
you thought defence was going to win the day, mate.
Well, I thought it might have just been a lot of clunky shit.
Which is true, but there's no defence.
No. Absolutely pounded the Rabbitohs did the Dragons in the Charity Shield. I feel like I can't remember the last time they lost a Charity Shield. But then I also got Herbie Farnworth first try scorer. Just warming up the fingers, dude. Warming up the fingers. Rabbitohs win into a fucking Walsh Cobbo Valame into a Herbie Farnworth. First try scorer at 10.50, I think. Shout out to Neds, obviously.
Obviously. Not a great start to the season for our boy, the Mad Dragon. He was pumped before the game. Gave one of the biggest fire-ups I've seen out of him, I think. I could argue probably the biggest I've seen.
The problem is that, tell you what he does? He's a slips, not tips sort of guy. Like, I need to see how he is after the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's all well and good for you to just keep doing your fire-ups, which I love. More backflips, please, into a pool. But, like, I need to see your reaction straight after a game.
The moment the whistle,
I know you do a podcast with like 50 other Dragons fans. I only care about you, sir. I want to hear what you say straight after the game.
The moment the whistle blows and you've lost another game, that's when I want to hear from you.
I want to hear from you when it's raw emotion, you're fucking furious, and you want to just torch your club.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because as much as the fire-ups are great, they lose a little bit of gusto when
you get humped
every week. You know?
Yeah, look at his face. He's fucking...
It's a great outfit too.
Look at that singlet. Hold on. Start that again. Look at how tight... I'd miss this cunt.
Dude, he's got like a size small...
Dude, I was trying to work it. His singlet is almost like a
on.
chick's one, or it's like a Gold's Gym, like... Arnie fucking, Mr. World.
It looks
muscle.
painted on. No offense.
Well, g'day, Dragons fans. It's game day! 2024 Rugby League is back. The St. George Illawarra Dragons are back. And the Mad Dragon is back. 2024 is the year of the Dragon's way. It is the year of
Quick pause. Can you see his belly button?
The stain?
Is that a stain where his belly button is?
Or is
that
that sweat?
Belly button sweat.
I think that's belly button sweat. I think that's belly button sweat.
He's fucking pumped. This might be a second or third go at it.
Oh, I don't think this is his first run.
Look at that belly button sweat.
Yeah, that belly button's working at overtime.
All right, Vol.
Once more. It starts today. Today, you get your first insight into what the Dragon's way looks like. The Charity Shield against the old enemy, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. It doesn't get any better than this. So come on, Dragons fans! Fire!
Dude, hold on.
Oh, it's good.
I just want to, can we just press him walking towards the camera again? Because...
Well, g'day, Dragons fans. It's game day!
Look at that belly button, dude. Look at that belly button. I love it. I want one of those singlets. Can we buy them?
You want one of those? What is? His Mad Dragon ones.
Yeah. I imagine if they came with the belly button sweat mark on them. That'd be funny.
There aren't the singlets for sale. There's a bunch of other stuff.
No, I don't want to I need a Mad Dragons. What's he got here? Flash Berry, Stubby Cooler, Muzzers League Legends. Look at that fucking T-shirt.
The Vulcanator? What's that?
I think it was when they had Ronald Volkman for like fucking 2 days and then fucked him off.
Wow.
What's send for the man right mundane? Okay. Ricky Watford.
You can buy 2010 grand final shirts. I think showcasing Mark Gaznia when he scored a try. Is it?
I love that, dude.
I can't really see.
I need one of those singlets, Mad Dragon, please.
Send the singlets.
We
Inbox us. We'll send your address.
We'll
pay full freight. No doubt about that. This weekend, punters and dribblers, the second and final round of the preseason challenge cup, whatever the fuck it's called. Again, all games live and exclusive on KO.
It's been so nice to have them back.
It's been good. It's been good to be back around rugby league football. Friday night.
23rd of September, 6 p.m. 23rd of February, 6 p.m.
Rabbitohs Roosters. Now, this is going to be like B-side.
You'd assume so, but again, it's good to see you.
Well, friend of the show, Connor Watson, said they're leaving on Wednesday, so they won't even be here. So you would assume that.
Well, yeah, then it's the But this is kind of nice. Well, it's kind of interesting at least. This is where Guru gets into his work because you get to see
the next boys up.
The next boys up, the tier below, a rung below, if you will. But then Sharks, Doggies. I wonder whether these games, like the non-Vegas team games, will have a bit more like.
Well, this because then they've got 2 weeks.
They've
got 2 weeks, so I would assume they have a bit of a crack.
Then you got Storm Knights. Cooper Cronk said that he thinks that Jack Cogger could be Jock Madden fame, just if you were to imagine the two in your head. But Jack Cogger should be the halfback for Knights over Hastings.
Is that right?
Thunder.
Interesting. Bit of thunder overhead, punters and dribblers.
That was dramatic, wasn't it?
It
As
was
I
dramatic.
said that.
Yeah. I don't think it would. What you said wasn't dramatic, but
it was made dramatic by the Thunder.
Correct. Because you saying that Jack Cogger might be halfback over Jackson Hastings.
Based on what Cooper Cronk said.
Sure.
But I was also watching some highlights today and Jock Madden obviously playing for the Broncos, and I'm like, they could be the same person.
Warriors take on the Dolphins.
Fish, Warriors. Again, hopefully full strength, right? You get to see a bit more. Then we've got Manly, Broncos. That'll be second tier City. Dragons, Tigers, DMC Bowl. Fuck me dead. 8:05.
Mudgee, Saturday night. Taking a game to the bush. We love that.
Yep.
That should be thrilling. Raiders, Cowboys, Queanbeyan, Sefford Oval. Love it. And last but not least, Titans, Eels, Sunday Arvo. So there's another
outside
action-packed weekend of rugby league football.
Yeah, outside of the Dragons-Tigers game, they're all good games of rugby league football.
Yeah, but even still, Dragons-Tigers, you watch.
Yeah, but a preseason DMC Bowl is a little bit, how you going? It's a little bit punchy.
It sort of creates its own little fucking weird narrative.
Maybe that's the point.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're going to get, and out of that, something may blossom.
Yeah. It's a good point.
It could be such a shit show, it could be really entertaining.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's an optimistic take.
Well, I am an optimistic guy.
Yeah. You're nothing if not optimistic.
That's exactly right. I've got no time for pessimists, Tom.
Yep.
Shout out to K.
Shout out to KO. Pumped for these games. And shout out to fucking KO for actually having them on.
Correct. Tom, are you aware of someone by the name of Shane Rose?
No.
I'd like to show you what Shane Rose got up to on the weekend. Shane Rose, a show jumper or dressage?
Equestrian. Competes in the eventing, which I believe is jumping over the obstacles.
Okay.
Have a go at what Shane Rose. You would obviously, when you think of equestrian, you think tights, jackets, pompous,
braided horse
elite,
hair, fart sniffing.
That's right.
Not an Olympic sport.
The aristocracy.
Exactly. Well, like Zara Tindall. Jesus, Thunder's getting into its work.
That's some serious thunder.
Zara Tindall of royal family fame competing at the Olympics sort of stuff.
Correct. But you imagine dressed to the nines.
Yeah.
Have a go at what the big fella got around in on the weekend. This just got me going.
At an event? Or?
Yeah, competes.
Get fucked.
New South Wales Olympic equestrian Shane Rose stood down for wearing a mankini. Dude.
He's wearing a Borat. Why has he stood down?
That's what he got around in.
Yeah,
at the event.
Is it? Well, I mean, is there any footage of him actually competing? I'd like to see him fucking. I mean, that's leaving very little to protect the ball bag. Jumping over fucking.
Maybe he got DQ'd before his nuts hanging out. Is there any footage of him in the event?
I haven't been able to find any of him in the event.
Because you can imagine going over the obstacle and landing. There's quite a jarring that's sent through the body. Surely his nuts fell out.
You'd have to assume they did fall out. I'd be prepared to part with some hard-earned money to bet on the fact that they popped all the way out. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like only in a sport like equestrian would you be so upset, put off by a bit of Borat action, like pearl clutching at its finest there. Who gives a fuck?
Why do you need to be dressed a certain way?
Maybe this is what the sport needs, is a bit of like Happy Gilmore energy to it.
He's just trying to loosen up the sport.
Well, when was the last time you and I spoke about competitive dressage?
Well, we haven't, I don't think. We may have.
We may have.
I'm not going to say for
Well,
sure we
in
haven't.
Olympic years, which it is.
Jesus Christ.
I think that is play all the way on. So he wears shit. He wears funny stuff sometimes.
It was an event. It was like a dress-up event. So they were encouraged to dress up.
He was encouraged to dress up and he gets, suspended for wearing a mankini?
They've stood him down from competing for a few days while they finished their internal investigation.
Oh, my God.
Is this guy Olympic quality?
Yeah, he's won 3 medals.
Really?
2 silvers and a bronze.
I love this guy.
In Beijing, Tokyo,
And they've
Rio.
suspended him.
Oh, they've stood him down for a couple of days. He's not suspended, I don't think, but...
Why? Because he got his nuts out in front of people.
I think he looks pretty good.
I think he looks great. You can't even see his bum crack.
You can barely see his ass crack. I haven't seen a single testicle. I do feel sorry for that Turkish towel that he's sitting on.
The third picture should be illegal, someone said.
Which one's the third?
The one we're looking
This
at.
one.
Oh, is it? Yeah, well, who said that?
Beat it, Beck Mueller.
Well, Beck might be having fun there. We don't know if Beck's actually upset by that or if she's just taking the piss. England suffered their worst test defeat since World War II against India.
It was a 435 runs.
Yeah. And the absolute just baseball cocksuckery that's come out of it where they're like, oh, we're not fucking upset. It's just we're not disappointed. This is just what happens. Like, it's about how you play the next game. It's like Joe Root played this shot where it was like, okay, we get baseball and like it can be a fun watch, but also sometimes you need to just knuckle down and fucking like play some cricket.
Yeah.
He did this like reverse sweep ramp, fucking, I don't even know what you'd call it, scoop shot, just straight to a slips. And they're basically calling it like one of the worst shots ever played in Test cricket. And they're like, well, Joe Root's fucking got 30 Test tons. What the fuck would you know? It's like, so?
Did he get them all playing baseball?
Joe Root's like, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? How many's he had under the new system?
It would fucking be a minority of his fucking total tons. But then they were like, even Joe Root's like, I've got out way more playing a fucking conventional forward defence. And you're like, yeah, right. What's your point?
Because you probably played more of those.
Ben Duckett, who, I'm not even going to just look at Ben Duckett and tell me what you think. That guy looks like a fucking oddball. But he is like saying, he feels like England should get credit because other test teams are playing like aggressive test cricket now.
Shut the fuck up, mate, Ben Duckett, and scurry back to the hole you came out of. Where was the quote from Ben Stokes? He made he was like quoted the other day basically implying that he wasn't trying to make excuses whilst making excuses.
Not a big excuses guy.
Not a big excuses guy. Wasn't looking to make excuses, but was happy to make them. But it baffles me how low that team and that country, well, not that country, it's probably a little bit broad, but that team specifically is prepared to stoop when they're talking or defending losses.
That's the thing.
Like, why don't you just go, you know what, we weren't up to it.
We lost. It was maybe a bad performance or like we didn't do it well enough.
Why can't you say that? What happened to just going, yeah, we got our fucking ringos pumped, 435 runs, biggest 434 rather, biggest loss since World War II. Come out and just acknowledge defeat. How are you trying to spin this in your favour? You got pumped.
In fairness to Ben Duckett, he did get 153 off 151 deliveries.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about what he said.
Just saying. It was just him just wigging out about, like, just having a whinge about the fucking
This was
Hawkeye or whatever it's called.
This is him whinging about Hawkeye. My personal opinion is if the ball is hitting the stumps, it is hitting the stumps. They should take away umpire's call, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't want to get too much into it because it sounds like we are moaning and saying that is why we lost the test match. Ben Stokes. I don't think Ben knows why they've got umpire's call. I don't think he understands because it's there for margin of error. Because they can't predict where the ball's... Like, they can't predict 100% where the ball's going to go.
It's fucking England, dude. I just am trying to work out, like, there's a world where I'm like, are they trolling us? Are they trolling the world? Like, in terms of their...
purposely trying to get under our skin.
Yeah, like purposely trying to be whiny little bitches. Like I, for one, enjoy Bazball as a style, but it'd be like if Australia was doing Bazball, I'd be like, this is sick. But like when you need to knuckle down, like knuckle the fuck down. It'd piss me off being an English fan watching my side play like that.
Because all they need to do is play situationally.
Situationally.
If the situation calls to go and swing to the bloody...
To the hills.
Then go out and swing. But if you're losing troops and you got to dig in for the nation, then that's what you got to do too.
Look at this shot from Joe Root.
Oh my God. 224 for 2.
Yeah.
What are you doing, mate? That's a shocker. That is a shocker. Why is it so easy to hate England? Fuck, I hate these clowns.
I know, they make it easy.
They make it so easy. Like, you can't...
And it's saying he must have got out for one before recently as well. They're like, he's got out again to it. A reverse lap shot.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's foul. Jesus Christ. Pathetic stuff.
Anyway, that's cricket. That's England. Edward.
Couple of biffs on yesterday, mate.
Couple of biffs on. Good card. I enjoyed it thoroughly up until about round 2 of the main event.
Yeah, it was great until round 2 of the main event. I just wanted to turn attention to Marab
Davishvili.
Guy's an absolute psychopath.
Yeah, he is.
He picked up Cejudo yesterday and walked him around the ring.
Just so that he could find Zuckerberg and smash him in front of Zuckerberg.
And then just fucking boom,
Yeah.
just pounded his ass.
Did you see Cejudo's arm? His
No.
arm at the end of the fight was like huge fucking thing on it. It just looks so...
He got the shit bashed
He
out
did.
of him.
Sorry if you can hear rain. We don't usually bring it up anymore, but it's pissing down. Just so you know, that's the noise.
Anyway, should be right.
Marab's an animal. He'll be fighting for the title.
He's one of the biggest bantamweights I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He's fucking enormous.
Yeah, he's huge. Or at least they look it until you stand
Well, he
next
looks
to
it
him.
next to Cejudo,
He's a
bro.
fucking tank.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But when he just literally walked him around the ring for what seemed like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Unbelievable
Yeah.
stuff.
That's when you know you're in some serious trouble. Was there anyone on before Hernandez, or was that the...
Hernandez, that was the start of the main card.
No. Yes, that was the start of the main card.
Yeah. Justin Taffer's brother stepped in for him on like 1 week's
I saw Junior
notice.
Taffer stepped in for Justin Taffer.
On like a day's notice?
Yeah, he got it's the shortest notice ever.
It was like a week.
And he got fucked up. They just booted his leg. Just kicked the
Still
fuck
go
out
to
of
the
his
second round, though. Respect that.
No. Listen, you respect it just for going in, but his leg just was getting chewed up. Anyway, back to the main card. Davishvili, he got the win. He'll fight for the title next. Ian Gary beat Jeff Neal. I feel sorry for him. He was a bit of a fan favourite. Not a fan favourite. People liked him until he just was pointed out to be a bit of a cuck. But
He took his wife's ex's name.
Yes.
That is Cuck City.
I know.
It just is.
It is.
You don't take your wife's ex's name.
No, you don't. You shouldn't.
That's absurd.
It's a bit much.
That into the book, people just,
I get it.
You're giving people too much ammo.
I know. I feel sorry for him, but I thought that was a good fight in the sense that he did what he had to do.
It wasn't very entertaining.
But it was entertaining in the sense that I thought he was fucking pretty slick.
He was slick.
Just some of it, that was a tough fight to have to deal with, and there was slickness. The knees he was throwing.
He's fucking rangy,
keeping him at distance, and again, I'm talking about shit I don't know.
Well, he had about 6 inches on him.
Keeping him at distance and just picking him apart.
Well, Jeff found it hard to get in, to use another term
that we probably shouldn't.
We don't really get it. All I'm saying is the cuck hasn't made it easy for himself, and unfortunately for him, a little bit of the luster, a little bit of the shines come off.
14-0 though. 14-0.
The next fight though,
this was so
Bobby
good.
Knuckles, Paulo Acosta was actually a fucking doozy.
They didn't even get a fight of the night bonus.
Fuck off. That was the fight of the night. It was unbelievable. It was such a good fight.
It was very close. I was kind of I was thinking though, Robert Whittaker clearly won the first round, and Chili got his head kicked off.
No, but can I?
I don't think he lost a round.
That's where I want to fucking get to. And this was fucking pissing me off. John Anik and who's the other guy that does colour? Bisping were basically saying because he landed the kick, he won the round. I'm like, that's not how scoring works.
No, but I think potentially in a close round, which it was.
But it wasn't that close.
It was close. I think it was close. But Rob was doing the better of the work. He almost got knocked out.
But he didn't.
No.
If he fell to his feet, if he'd fallen to the ground, yeah, sure. But he didn't.
No,
he didn't drop
him. But it was like you can steal around with a takedown or with a fucking like something with a moment.
If it's equal to that point.
I thought it was equal enough for that to happen.
No, I didn't think so.
But outside
and the judges agreed with me.
I think it was like 2-1.
Yeah, they probably gave the third to they may have given the third to Costa, potentially.
No. Whittaker clearly won the second, and I would say clearly won the third. But I'm pretty sure, I think from the judges' scores, it was unanimous. One of them had Rob winning all three, though.
Yeah, it was 2-1, 2-1, 3-0.
Yeah.
In terms of rounds.
Yeah. But Rob's just, like, Costa's good as well. Like, I don't think anyone's stocks go down after that fight. Costa's a fucking animal. They were there both, like, willing. But Costa didn't do as much as I feel like it was sort of presented.
I don't know how he thought he won the fight at the end. I was like,
he's been pretty good afterwards. You're seeing all this stuff in the media. He's not too much like, he doesn't think he's robbed or anything.
Oh, he's been posting a lot. He posted comparing their faces.
Yeah, well, listen, I get that, but
he did though.
No. What I'm saying to Costa, I'm like, I get it, dude, but Rob's a fucking animal.
Costa is the biggest middleweight I've ever seen. He's fucking huge.
Yeah, huge.
And jacked as shit. Whittaker, when he came out, looked ready to fucking rock and roll.
It just showed,
I've almost not seen him that pumped.
Just with Robert Whittaker, it's like he was the champion, and then he was the man you faced before you got a title shot, and then he loses to... And most people didn't beat him, so it was like, how the fuck do we give anyone a title shot? Because they can't get through Rob, but Rob's lost to Izzy twice, so what the fuck do we do? He then loses to Drickus. He got fucked up. But then it's like, okay, back in there. What's going to happen now? Costa, another absolute fucking animal. And he just still does the job.
He's an absolute
so
beast. He's such a beast.
Islam left to put a tweet out or something. He's just like, such a high fight IQ. So like just sucking him off. And you're just like, yeah, Whittaker, the man.
Suck the man off.
Suck the man off.
Suck that man.
Suck that man. Now we get to the main event, and Volk v. Ilya Topuria. Again,
Volk looked great.
He looked good. There's no excuses there. He just got fucking absolutely
He looked
mauled.
great until, to use a term from commentary, was using angles well, Tom.
Yeah.
I was ready to start pulling my own penis after he would have gone up, I thought, 2-0 in rounds.
Well, the first round was tight as well. I don't know if it was
but listen, my bias will dictate that it goes to
Volk.
Volk. And then gets absolutely slept.
Yeah. Crumpled,
folded in on himself like origami.
Yeah, or like the Titan submarine.
Yeah. Yep. Probably not as dramatic, I'd suggest. But
more dramatic.
But it definitely, there was implosion, not explosion, Tom.
Correct.
For sure.
Because Topuria's, like, you look at all of his highlights leading up to this fight. You look at all of his highlights from his fights, Topuria, or a couple of his, knockouts, it's like one punch, just melting cunts. And that was always obviously a concern. But then Volk's got a chin, although he did get his head kicked off recently. Does that matter? What happens? But Topuria has the touch of death in his hands.
But what was annoying is that he'd already said he'd put featherweight world champion in his buy, stole the belt, all that shit. I was like, someone needs to shut this little cunt up. And unfortunately, the little cunt can fight.
Yeah, the cunt can fight.
The cunt can fight, which is devastating. Volk's had a beautiful run. He's
4.5
years, I think.
Featherweight goat.
Featherweight goat. He's pumped everyone, and eventually, at a certain point, someone younger and hotter comes along. That's the way of the world.
He wants a rematch.
Yes, he does.
I'll bet. Look, whatever Volk wants, Volk gets.
Can I ask something of Alexander? let's have some time off.
Yeah, let's have a bit of a breather.
Let's woo up and have a breather because you've been fighting a lot and regularly and taking fights at short notice. And I think it's time for a breather.
Let's have a fucking spell.
I think it's time for R&R.
Yeah.
Get back to Wing Dang. Chill the fuck out. And we can revisit this late in the year or early next.
Maybe even give Topuria someone else. He can fight someone else in between.
I'm not anti end of the year, early next. I'm not anti that. I don't want to see this fucking done in June or something.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Let's woo up.
In Topuria's defense about being a mouthy little fuckhead.
Which he is. But he did walk the walk.
He walked the walk. But he also, when they were doing their face-offs, when Volk was dressed as a grandpa, which was fantastic. Obviously, unfortunately, now it doesn't age well, but it looked great. But when they came to face off, Topuria goes, I respect you professionally and personally. This is just my dream. And I'm like, that's pretty nice. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And he's out there trying to sell the fight. You know, I can respect that. Needs to work on his English if he wants to be a star.
Oh, he can speak well enough, and that'll only get better.
I'm just saying, it helps.
That
with your marketability, it just does.
That knockout, dude.
Folded, origami style. And poor old Volk, he just wasn't aware of where he was when he woke up, which is always it's not a great sign.
Well, that's usually what happens after you get knocked out. Shout out Josh Cohen, knocked me out in year 12.
Twice this week for Josh Cohen. There you go. I don't think you've mentioned him before.
No, never.
Did you run into him recently?
No.
Because you're going hard in the paint.
No, well, I just remembered that he knocked me out, and I remember not knowing where I was when I got knocked out. Only time I've been knocked out. Probably, hopefully, the last. Touch wood.
The 35-year-old curse continues in earnest.
Yep.
God, I wish he didn't take that Islam fight. God, I wish he'd been given the win in Perth. Fuck!
I know. Well, but you know apparently why he took the Islam fight, the second one?
No.
Because he signed a new contract with the UFC with a minimum guarantee fight purse for like another 5 fights. So he's like, all right, I'll do it, but I want to renegotiate my contract. So that's kind of why he did it.
Right, for money. For cheddar.
Yeah.
And also, I was like, no one would really begrudge him from losing because of the circumstances.
No. The
in which
way he
it
lost,
happened.
unfortunately, not great.
No. And people, rightly or wrongly, go, they're connected. Those knockouts, they're connected. They're connected. Those knockouts are connected.
Knockouts connected there. He's
mean,
now lost 3 fights
listen,
in a row.
you could make that argue. You could also argue, as Tom's pointed out, that Topuria is a heavy hitter.
Yeah. Did he fight? Has he lost his last 3 fights, Volk? Was it Islam, Topuria?
Yeah.
No.
Did he have someone in between?
Rodriguez?
Oh, yeah, he fought Yair.
Sure he did.
Yeah, he would have.
He definitely
Islam,
did. He definitely
Yair,
did. He definitely did.
Islam. There you go.
There you go. There you go. So he's 1 in 4.
Yeah.
That's what decline looks like, punters and dribblers.
It's not nice.
What? Listen, Volk's the fucking featherweight goat. Like,
Yeah.
you could argue he's one of the greatest. It's no argument. He is one of the greatest to ever do it. We love Volkanovski. He's a son of the nation. But all I'm pointing out is he's won 1 of his last 4 fights. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
And while we're on Volk's sad loss, and it was a sad loss, I can't help but blame Mark Zuckerberg's presence in his camp.
Mark the cock, Zuck.
Like, did you see that video of him like walking out and people like trying to they're all passing around shit and he doesn't know what to do? Have you seen the video?
Yeah, I watched him walk out with.
No, but there's a video. Can you please get it up? It's saved. It'll be saved in our Instagram. There's a video where when they walk out and they get to the ring, and then when they're taking their shirt off, the ref's checking theirs, they're doing shit, and there's him there.
I've watched that.
Oh, so you've seen that?
Yeah, I saw that. I watched the whole thing happen live.
Yeah, but this pointing out of him actually not doing a thing.
Oh, so this
is zoomed in on him,
okay.
and he has no idea what he's doing. It's like what I'm trying to work out why he's there. He's obviously a friend. I know they've done some shit before, but is this just more like a
flex?
Well, like a Make-A-Wish style experience as opposed to a value add to your team.
He's really trying to rebrand himself, isn't he, Mark the Cuckzuck?
Yeah, he is. Look at this. Look at his hands here. He doesn't.
Yeah, I know. I was
look how
watching,
awkward he is.
I know,
here.
it's so awkward. Him like nodding
you need
along
me to do
and
that?
shit.
No, okay. Oh, you need me to do something there? No, okay. No, something
he's
there.
like, oh, should I hold this? Oh, Jesus.
He's just nodding. He looks more nervous than fucking Volk to fight.
Oh, it was weird, dude. It was weird stuff. Just not good. Not good. Not good optics.
Oh, just get out of the way and just be happy to be there. You know,
not good optics. Why are you standing so far at the front? You need to be up the back.
You need to be
more.
at the back, like behind his BJJ coach rather than in front of him. You know what I mean?
He's front and center. He's in front of everything.
Yeah, he's fucking Wigan. It's such nerd territory.
Oh, it's very nerd. And unfortunately, Tom, I can't help but feel like he's to blame.
I don't want to blame him because obviously he has a lot of say and sway around algorithmic implications.
He's our daddy, so to speak.
Yeah, he's our tech daddy.
He's our tech daddy, at least for part of it.
Yeah.
Certainly for Instagram and punters and dribblers, you could argue he's our tech
Well,
daddy.
not argue. You could fucking he is.
Well, it's not an argument.
No,
it is what it is.
He is.
So I'm not going to go
I'm blaming
and tell
him.
you how I really think.
No, I blame him, but we're like, it's all
Well,
good.
I'm saying I'll blame him and I'll leave it there.
But he looks like a billionaire's child who's been given like an opportunity. Like, hey, as in like do you want to go and have fun with the fighters?
Him nodding along and stuff as he tries to take his stuff is very, very, very awkward watching. Look at him. It's not the right energy. It's not the right energy. It's just not.
Nah.
This is the biggest fight of Volk's life. One of.
Well, the biggest is always the next, mate.
That's right. And you've just got an awkward Mark Zuckerberg, part man, part robot, just nodding along, bobbing along.
Do you see when he did it?
Ruining the vibe.
He did a potty with Lex Friedman, and as the intro, Lex made him held up one of those. You know, it's like a pick every photo where there's there's like traffic lights to prove you're not a robot.
Yeah.
Like Lex made him do it.
That's
before
good. That's a good troll. I enjoy that. That's great stuff.
But he's obviously advanced AI, so he'd be able to do it.
He's seriously advanced. I didn't like that as an omen for the fight. Worth pointing out.
Nah.
I don't think anyone did. What's he doing? Stop.
Anyway.
Fuck you, Mark.
We take that back.
No.
No, we don't. Now, they announced the main event for UFC 300.
Ah, okay.
Can you fucking scratch your balls a bit harder while you...
They're itchy. That does not get my dick hard at all. No offense.
No, it doesn't really. Alex Pereira has gone in 7 UFC fights. He has become a champion in 2 weight divisions, and he is now headlining UFC 300. Everything else aside, whether you give a fuck about him fighting Jamal Hill for the light heavyweight title. Jamal Hill, a former champion, mind you. He never lost the title.
It doesn't give off 300 energy, does it?
No.
That's as simple as that.
But it will still, you'd hope, be a good fight. I think it will still be a good fight, but I'm with you. It doesn't give off 300 energy, and neither does Weili Zhang versus Jan Zia Nazarian.
Gagey Holloway does.
Gagey Holloway does for the BMF belt. Oliveira Sarukian does. Prohaska and Rakic does. Calvin Cater Sterling does. Bo Nickel and Cody Brundage does, mainly because of Bo Nickel. Figueiredo Cody Garbrandt does. Holly Holm Kayla Harrison does. Sadiq Youssef Diego Lopez doesn't, and that's casual. I don't know, whatever you want to call me.
Unfortunately, Tom, the co-main and the main's that's what carries the whole thing.
I think that
they're weak.
I think the main's good enough. It's not a 300 good, but like it's good enough.
Listen, if it was $299, sure, great, cool, perfect. 300, it felt like it needed more. Although, unfortunately, not even, it doesn't even matter. There's just not many 300 fighters on the roster.
Wow.
There's a handful.
It just feels like it got away from them a bit, this one. I feel like they left it late to start booking.
You think they left it late to start booking?
When is it? 14th of April. Fuck.
I think they need to put Connor on that card. That's just
Yeah,
me.
but that's
What is going on?
money, apparently. You can only believe part of what Dana says, I think. But he's like, mate, the guy just, like, he's got too much money.
So he just wants more and more.
No, it wasn't even that. He's like as a guy to work with, he's like the best business partner we've ever had. The motivation is sort of, I guess, the inference. It's like he's got so much money. It's like,
So basically, Connor's talking shit when he says,
and I think he also said he's got promotional things for his movie.
Right, timings. Sure. Maybe. Anyway, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight again. That's all I'm saying.
No, mate, I'm with you. Let's go to a couple of dribbles before we get out of here. What do you reckon?
Let's do that. Also, very hot and horny and ready for Jack Della Maddalena at 299.
299, yeah. Who's he? Go 299. When's 299?
10th of March.
10th of March. O'Malley, Marlon Vera, Poirier, St. Denis, Kevin Holland, Michael Venom Page. Dude, this card's fucking sick.
Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena.
This
Peter
card's
Yan.
fucking dope. Peter Yan and Song Yadong. That is a great name.
Song Yadong.
Tom, Eddie, Tobler, mate, it's the Burleigh Pavilion dribbler here. Mate, I've just got a bit of a question now. I've got a good mate of ours that was born on the Gold Coast, was brought up as a Broncos supporter. Now, when obviously the Titans come into the comp, he's done an old Game of Thrones, so he's turned his back, a heel turn for lack of a better term. Now he swears hatred against the Broncos. And he'll be pretty colourblind for the Titans. So, but I'm just seeing that's pretty uncouth because, he's got the family history there. He used to be, as a young boy, a Broncos supporter, but now he's just all about that. So, but he also has the home turf advantage here. So, look, I'm just wondering what the go is there. So, let us what you know. Thanks.
He's a sick piece of shit that shouldn't be trusted.
Correct.
Like if Barrel have got a fucking team in the NRL or if Dubbo, like I've lived a life of supporting the mighty Manly Seagulls, the boys from the Peninsula, the Insular Peninsula. I bleed maroon and white and have an eagle on my chest, that sort of stuff. You're going to bring in a fucking side just because that's where I like. And now he hates the club he grew up loving? Like,
You can't hate.
what the fuck is wrong
What have
with
they
you?
done to you?
It's not the point. They were your team.
But to invoke hate.
Yeah, well, it's a very extreme feeling.
Hate's a strong feeling, mate.
Well, yeah, the
You've got to
guys
be
are-
wrong.
Yeah, if you and I mean, I don't condone this on any level, but he's done it now, so whatever. But like to do it, if you were to do it and then still be like, but obviously I've still got a soft spot for the Broncos, that is still disgraceful behaviour, but like much better than being like, oh, now I hate them. Like, how the fuck do you just hate them?
That's what I'm trying to say. What have they done to you? Because to turn your back on someone who's done nothing to you and hate them for it is absurd. It's uncouth.
Yeah, that guy's etch. That guy's etch, and I would be.
That's watch list stuff.
Yeah, well, it's like friends close, enemies closer, though. Like, I wouldn't trust him as far as you can throw him,
But you keep him close because he might bloody...
You see those, like, those Instagram videos where it's that AI voice, and he's...
yeah, that guy annoys me.
Fucking annoying. But it's like, from some, like, hustle motivator page of some bullshit. It's like, there was this lady once. She had a pet snake. And then she realized the snake wasn't eating dinner. For weeks, it wasn't eating. And she was feeling really bad about the fact the snake wasn't eating. And every night, the snake would curl up in bed and lay next to her. And she took the snake to the vet. And it's like this big python, right? And he's like, and the vet says, has the snake been sleeping with you at night? And she goes, yeah, it has. It's been laying alongside me like all the way for. And he's like, well, the vet says the snake wasn't hungry. It was sizing you up and preparing to eat you. It was waiting until it was big enough so that it could swallow you whole. What's the lesson in this story? You don't know what. Like be aware that snakes are always close by or some shit. And he's like, shut the fuck up. Jesus.
That's that guy.
That's that guy. That's that guy.
He's lining you up to swallow you whole.
Do not trust that guy.
Don't trust a turncoat.
He also probably follows those sort of hustler pages.
Yeah, that
Hustle
guy, that big bald guy who's like, if you don't have a fucking six pack, you can't work for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that guy?
Yeah.
He's
Shiny
actually,
dude.
yeah, shiny dude. He's actually a hilarious.
He is
Fellow.
hilarious.
Hope that's answered your query.
Yep.
Thomas, Edward, Tobler, punters, Rivers. It's the same dickhead that called the other day asking about the 100-metre question. How many dickheads could you beat? Anyway, I'm a Bathurst dribbler. I'm walking home from the Oxford. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with the Oxford. It's all the go-to plays in town. I just wanted to... I'm a 22-year-old male, and I just wanted to get some perspective on how much better nightlife was in Bathurst. Let's say, however long ago you guys were here at the uni. This place fucking sucks now. It actually sucks. So, boys, any advice? Any recommendations? I'm going to bring the party back to Bathurst. You guys need to give me advice. How am I going to do it? Also, I've walked home. I've put my Strava on. I'm moving at about 8-minute Ks all the way back out to the fucking other side of town. It's about a 5K walk home. Manly never. Brisbane forever. Peace out, home bros. Bye.
What day of the week was this? Was that sent through?
That was sent through on Sunday at 2 a.m.
So
he's gone out Saturday night.
First and foremost, shout out to, I believe, Club Medusa.
Yes. That was at the Ox.
Shout out to Club Medusa. A couple of sweaty nights in there. Mate, if I was trying to bring back the nightlife in Dubbo, first of all...
No, Bathurst.
Bathurst, rather. I'd bring back the Eddy. I'd probably get on the blower to a guy who sells sand.
Yeah, at like quantity.
At quantity. I'd be shipping in 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 tons of sand. I'd be filling that bitch to the brim.
The entire back courtyard.
Yep. Then I'd be bringing in some stage, some lighting, some smoke machines, some laser.
Bubbles, like those like they turn the bubbles everywhere.
I'd be bringing in DJ Havana Brown.
Was she there?
Was she there? I think
was she the one that bumped us at Parramatta for the highball comp?
Was she there or Tiger Lily was there? Someone was.
We got bumped by one of them at the Parramatta Stadium as well.
I believe Flume may have been there as well.
Flume went out there once. Early days, pre-Flume being Flume.
Well, but he was Flume though. He's called Flume.
Yeah,
Peking Duck.
Peking Duck as well, but before they were who they were.
Correct, but they were there. I'd be getting some up-and-coming talent, and I'd be fucking shipping them in, and I'd be doing some sort of full moon party.
Problem is, though, from what I understand, there's like no one really there anymore. It's like all distance and online
that makes it
Towers
difficult.
is gone.
It is.
I think they've raised it.
We heard it had been raised, yeah. It's definitely shut. I've driven past it in the last 6 months or a year, and it was boarded up.
Why do they call it raising when they're flattening?
It's a great point. It's a great point. To raise something up is to raise it.
Not erase. Anyway, I think you got your work cut out for you, mate. If everything I hear about Bathurst is true, is that it's kind of just fucking dead now.
You think it might be just a weight of runs, sort of a volume thing?
Might be like, you know how they say, well, like you hear in America that California is sort of like fallen off.
Well, San Francisco, for example.
Fucked.
Yep.
LA. I mean, LA was never great. IMO. But
it's come back, though, in terms of what it was. Like, you couldn't walk down a street without getting feces thrown at you. Apparently, they've cleaned it all up.
Well, that's nice. I've cleaned up some poo. Anyway, I think Bathurst, much like that now. From a university party town lifestyle.
What about, listen, for it to go back to what it was, you need people going down there with a bit of fucking ticker and a bit of go about.
Bring back Bobby Burke.
Bring back Bobby Burke. You can probably chart the decline of the party life in Bathurst when Bobby Burke was...
Can we just find out whether
accused of
blackmail or something? Is he in prison or is he just a disgraced former town mayor?
I think he's evaded jail.
Of course he has. He was always a slippery fucker.
Yeah, he was slippery
for the blackmail charge against a fellow councillor.
That's correct. That's correct.
Was he found guilty though?
He was found guilty of misconduct in public office by a jury.
What about on a courtesy bus?
Is there any charge? Any charge there?
He was sentenced to 18 months in prison, but will be able to serve the time in the community. I'll look up the...
He's a good community man, Bobby Burke.
Don't look up the courtesy bus. Do not look up the courtesy bus.
No, there's nothing on that. Don't look
that up. Tell you what, there's probably part of it as well when they were like, if we could put him in jail, but he could potentially pick a lock with his teeth.
Too slippery. You got to let a slippery eel out, and community service. That's his bread and butter.
Yeah.
But unless you've got goers around, you're fucked.
It was a place where you went to sort of prolong your youth a little bit whilst getting an education.
Correct.
Feels like now it's all education first, youth prolonging second, if at all.
Well, the moment they moved to a distance model, which is, I mean, listen, I took some classes via distance, but that's because I didn't want to go to shoots.
But so I also took some classes via distance, but that was because I'd been there for 4.5 years.
But I still lived there.
Well, so did I.
Mate, don't you remember we used to we'd sign up via distance to heaps of classes, you didn't have to go at all?
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
And you just get on the piss.
But also, and then by the end of it, I just left because everyone else was leaving, and I felt like I was maybe pushing it.
You were pushing it. You were old before you got there.
Well, we look back now, I wasn't. I was 21, not even.
Contextually.
Yeah.
There was 18-year-olds there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was a fucking grandpa.
Contextually. So to stay another 5 or 6 years beyond that, you would have been, really pushing.
Well, then you
out.
become like those uni guys who were there for like...
There used to be some of them.
Oh, yeah, fucking oath there was. I know them. I remember their names. You could name the guys where you're like, you're still here?
I hope we've answered your question, mate.
Yeah.
You got to get cunts in there with a bit of fucking ticker, and then you got to fill the Eddy full of sand. It's pretty simple.
Problem solved.
One more.
Dom, Eddy, and whoever is your long list of producers on the floor this week. Just got a quick yarn off the back of the Triggerboff Mins Bondi golf course situation. It reminded me of a yarn that I once heard, and I think maybe this is the solution. So, years ago, Kim Jong-il, previous head dictator of North Korea, went out in the golf course in Pyongyang, and on his first ever round, shot 38 under, 11 hole-in-one on a 7,700 yard championship course. 11 under. Think about it.
Yeah. Well, like, he's telling the truth, because if he was lying, he would have said 18 hole-in-ones.
Correct. He's definitely telling the truth.
He's just had a great day out. Sometimes you haven't.
Have you ever seen, I think this sort of like, it's not a meme, but it's the videos of people tapping on a table, because eventually they're like, if I tap on the table enough times, maybe I'll perfectly line it up so that the atoms in the table and the atoms in my hand will separate and I can go through. Your hand will go through the table. Like, if you things happen if you tie them enough times. You know what I mean?
I've never heard that one.
Have you heard it? Yeah, it's like this TikTok thing I saw. Point being, maybe he caught fire. He goes out there that day and the atoms align, so to speak, and he shoots a fucking 38 under or whatever it was. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Stranger things have happened when you're going around the twist, right? Like, that's just...
Yeah.
That's
have you heard the word about the boy and the spider?
Bird and the spider.
Bird and the spider.
Yeah, wiggled and whatever. I do the lyrics.
Wiggled and wriggled and jiggled inside her.
Something like that.
Have you ever
felt like this?
Strange things happen.
You go around the twist. Now, that may make sense to some of you and no sense to also a lot of you, given the broad demographic which we're speaking to.
If you don't get it, shame on you. Tobler, do you get it?
No.
Fuck you! It's just wild to me.
He's 28 as well.
That's wild.
26.
That's wild to me.
I swear you told me you were turning 28.
Cody?
Turning 27.
Were you listening to me? Yeah. So
did you watch it? But see, you're a bit Triple J yourself, so like they're both Triple J crowd. You think that they would like almost watch it ironically these days?
Well, it was ABC.
Yeah, I know.
So like the loyal to the station, loyal to the broadcasting corporation. Wild stuff. But Tobler didn't even know who Michael Slater was.
Yeah, true.
Once I saw the photo, it all came.
It didn't.
No, it didn't.
No, it did. It came back.
Did you know he was a cricketer when you saw the photo?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. We already told you.
You're a liar.
You're a liar. You don't need to lie, dude. Just say I don't know who Michael Slater was.
You don't know Ray the Twist. You don't know Michael Slater. What do you know?
How many test tons did Matthew Hayden get?
7.
Oh my God.
7.
No, I'm not too sure. I can do it.
No, we know that. We know that.
I'm not going to lie to you, boys.
No,
It's a couple more than 7, buddy.
Yeah, try 30.
Yep.
Try greatest opener we've ever produced.
I'm sure we've talked about this recently because when Warner was retiring, we probably did some comparison work.
Oh, look, we probably do some comparison work. I just don't know whether Tobler would be a cricket guy, which is okay. He's a rugby league guy. He's a manly man. Not a cricketer, though.
No.
Not a big cricket guy.
Not around the twist guy either.
He just said Matt Hayden got 7 test tons.
I was here.
No, were you there for that?
I heard
Fuck me dead. Like that will...
He also doesn't know what round the twist is, which I can't get over.
Yeah, but I can kind of forgive that.
How?
Because he's 26. I don't know if it was still going when he was a pup.
How does Cody know about it?
Because he's from Erskineville. And that's like...
Yeah, we didn't get it on the Northern Beaches.
No, well, it's more like...
Red
No, he's
Foxtel.
moved from the beaches to Urco. But
Yeah,
like, I
true.
could see a lot of like people in... I used to live around there, or at least I used to...
I can see
areas.
people, Erskineville sitting around a table doing K, watching around the twist.
Yes, dude. That's Erskineville breakfast night. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's breakfast in Erskineville. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Ketamine and round the twist.
Right, I can't.
All right.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?